Welcome to Crosscut Now, the show that takes you beyond the breaking news, goes deeper into the issues you care about, and brings awareness to stories affecting communities. In today's episode, we're wrapping up our final Fall Art segment with a Seattle author whose new novel follows one family through pivotal moments in Korean history. Crosscut Arts correspondent Brandon Davis chats with Seattle author E.J. Ko at ArtX Contemporary Gallery in Seattle's Pioneer Square, diving into the layered themes of her new novel.
I invited writer E.J. Ko to meet me at ArtX Contemporary, a local gallery showing bird etchings by Korean artist Gilchun Ko. His work is based in the political history of Jeju Island, which also plays a role in E.J.'s new novel, The Liberators. Hi, E.J.
Hi, Brandon.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the gallery. Thanks for meeting me here.
Thank you for having me here. I so appreciate it.
Now, are you familiar with Gilchun's work?
No, I've read a lot about Gilchun, but I've never really seen it for myself.
Coming out on November 7th, The Liberators is an expansive novel based in part on E.J.'s own family history.
It really is a multi-generational novel that follows a family, but also across different countries and different events across history. By an early age, I could read and write in 6 languages. I found a tool, an ink brush, a twig, or my stub finger, and used it to draw a character on parchment, dirt, or air. When one line touched another, my heart reached my fingertips to impart meaning.
Tell me about the significance of writing without an implement.
It sort of, I think, is a way to love and understand the Korean language for me. I'm feeling how Korean would sound like. And those moments were really important for me in trying to bring the reader into that world of understanding this relationship to language. At 5, it was for pleasure that I left words all over town. On a tree, I carved tree. In the river, I spelled river in pebbles. On my mother's dress, I inked dress. At some point, my mother sent me down and didn't pick me up again. On my mother's grave, I wrote grave.
And this piece here I was curious about because I remembered a red heron in your novel.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
The heron was at the demilitarized zone. And it's just really interesting because that zone is a place of such wounding and pain and so militarized, one of the most militarized borders in the world. But it's also so vibrant with herons and wildlife and the trees and meadows and lakes, because there's no one going there. There's something about borders that happens throughout the novel, whether it's a border between countries, a border that you put up within a country, the borders between these nations, or also communities, and also between individuals, and also the borders we have within ourselves. And I thought that was an interesting way to understand history across the lives of these characters.
What are you hoping readers take out of the story?
I think the novel deals with such extremes, with such terrible, horrific events, and at the same time, it takes really bold steps toward what does an apology look like, what does forgiveness look like, what does reconciliation look like, in the wake of reckoning with all these things that happen to you or your family. And I think that even to the very end, we try to have a glimpse of what that future looks like. And I hope that there is a sense of hope for the reader who walks away from this and understanding that not to cut, divide, or erase from these difficult, dark pasts, but to take them on, to look at them deeply and closely as a reflection of ourselves, as a reflection of humanity, being a braid of both destruction and reparation, and that's something we need to see on both sides. Being the liberators, the perspective of not just the liberators, but the perpetrators, not just the prison guards, but the prisoners, and to see the whole picture of ourselves, and to decide and choose every moment going forward how we would like that to be.
Thank you, Brandon. E.J. Coe's novel, The Liberators, will release on November 7th. Read more about it on crosscut.com.